Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, what are the new changes to the ship in 2025? Some of them I'm super excited about, and you will be too. And some of them, and one of them, to be honest, I was genuinely annoyed by. Coming up. And if you're new here, ahoy, I'm Christine Lozada. I love Virgin Voyages. Scarlet Lady was one of the first ships I had been on soon after she launched. Back in August 2021 was when she was put on the water, obviously delayed by the pandemic. And if you didn't know this, in November 2024, she went into dry dock. She took 2 weeks to have her glow up and makeover. And now that she's back on the water, I'm excited to share with you the key things that have changed and the key things that you can expect on your sailing. I want you to be a smart traveler and book your sailing with us. Even if you've already booked it, it only takes a second to price compare and making sure you're getting the most amazing deal out there. Let's dive straight in with one of the biggest changes, which is one that will affect your dining. Do you recognize where we're at? This is a really big change for Scarlet Lady, which is Lucky Lotus. Razzle Dazzle has now transformed into a Chinese-inspired restaurant, and it's been so much fun to try out the completely new menu. There are a couple changes that I want to point out. One of the key things you'll notice is in the dining room. This dining space has completely transformed to be more intimate. And what I mean by that is before you used to have these long tables in which you're sitting together with other sailors, not necessarily gun-based style where you're dining together, you're just seated at the same table. Now everything is more split up, so you're really just at a table with the people or persons that you're dining with. You'll also find a whole new space in the back that's been redone. I got the opportunity to dine at one of the booths, which was so nice to dine at the other night while having some really delicious food. And so the setup of the space looks a little bit different than what Razzle Dazzle used to be. The other thing is just the look of the space, the vibe of the space. The way I would describe it, Razzle Dazzle before used to be loud. It was kind of like loud, fun, and almost like zany. And I mean, if you didn't know what Razzle Dazzle means, you can read this description that's on the screen right now, which is used to be on the menu of Razzle Dazzle. They still had the art in the front of Razzle Dazzle. But now this look and feel feels to me a little bit more modern, a little bit more sophisticated, and also a lot more subdued and a little bit more mellow. It doesn't feel loud like it did before. And so it just creates a different vibe when you're in this restaurant. The next major change you'll see is the pool. Given the number of complaints about how small the pool is and shallow it is, they just completely ripped it out and removed it. I'm just kidding. Instead, they made a couple changes. One is how you get into the pool. There's additional railings to allow you more ease of access getting in and out of the pool. The second one is around the seating, and this is twofold. The first one is cabanas. Before, they had the kind of like red seats that they have everywhere around a portion of the pool. They have since removed those and added the ability to rent nicer upscale cabanas. More info about that is in the full blog post. The next area where the seating is different, before they used to have these kind of booth style seats on the 15th deck, and they have since removed those and made it just a more open and wide space with more day beds. It creates a sense of a more open and larger space. Here's a change on Scarlet Lady that I know you're going to notice because everybody passes through where I'm at right now, which is in the galley. The Grounds Club 2, their location on the 15th deck, has now transformed, still serving all the coffees that you would expect and that you saw on the previous menu before, but now expanded. You'll find all kinds of alcohol and tons of wine. So now this space has a more upscale, sophisticated look and feel. It's a place that instead of just grabbing a coffee to go, it's a space that you will want to hang out in, grab a drink, have a cocktail. And so there's a lot more liquor options. The Grounds Club before still had, some alcohol options, but that's been expanded. And now with this new sophisticated look. If you're getting some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. And if you have a helpful little tip. We're all a community. Add it in the comments below. I asked our Facebook group how many people even knew about the makeover, and a lot of people didn't. Come join us over there. It's a great community. And also, while I was sailing last week on Scarlet Lady, I asked others who had sailed with her before, how are you liking the changes? And so many people didn't even notice any of the changes aside from the Lucky Lotus Razzle Dazzle. So it's not something that will make or break your sailing, but it's fun to see the changes, which, speaking of which, if you want to see what's changing in 2025, make sure you check out the other video, info in the description below. So many people miss the info that's in there, which one of them is the most important, which is making sure you're a smart traveler. I want you to book your sailing with us. We got you every step of the way with helpful content, a fantastic deal, and making sure you're supported so that you can have the best vacation possible on Virgin Voyages. All right, let's dive into this next part, which is about the Rockstar suites. The next major change you'll see on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady is around the staterooms. Now there are 24 brand new, seriously sweet Rockstar rooms. This is the most popular type of Rockstar room, and so 24 additional ones have been built. And to give context to that, there were previously around 78 Rockstar rooms in total in the past. So this is a really big addition, which means Richard's Rooftop can start to feel a little bit more crowded, especially during the sunset hour. But the new addition on Scarlet Lady is more suites. Let's do a quick fire of some of the other changes you'll see around the ship. One is the casino. You'll see more slot machines placed in the casino, and they look pretty shiny and brand new. You'll also notice less fitness equipment. Some of the fitness equipment that used to be outside of the training camp on the 16th deck has since been removed. There's still some stuff there, but some of it has been removed. Next, in general, you'll just see a lot of things getting a makeover. The mermaid on the front, she has a new look, and also you'll just notice that things are freshly painted just about everywhere. You'll also notice more seating. There are more spots with big group seating. For example, like the galley has these bigger tables with more spots for people to sit together. And speaking of together, the next one is within the spa. There's not just single rooms, but there's the addition of couples massage rooms. And even the muster video has a bit of a makeover. Don't forget, there's a blog post. There's always things changing on Virgin Voyages, and I keep that updated. But let's talk very honestly about what I was unhappy about. This last one I was so excited about and so extremely disappointed and annoyed by, and that's in the Wake. The Wake is a fantastic restaurant. I love dining there, and I was so thrilled about the new update, which is the back area, which used to have like the seafood towers, and it was just kind of I don't know, nothing really happened in that space. No one really sat there. Has since been changed over to a wine bar. Oh, I love drinking wine, especially, I used to live in San Francisco, went to wine country all the time. I was so excited because the space was explained as dine with a sommelier, have some small bites, drink a lot of wine by the glass. The Wake has a fantastic wine list. And so I was excited for this interaction of enjoying the Wake with a sommelier in a wine bar experience. That is absolutely not the case. There's both good news and bad news. So let's start with the good news, which is there's many times I've set sail on Virgin Voyages with no reservations at all. And if there's one spot on the ship that will generally say,
"We apologize, but we are fully booked,"
that's going to be the Wake. Translation, it means you won't be able to dine there that night. But having this new space means that you can get in more easily. It's a spot where they turn people over really quickly. It means the lovely sailors that were sitting next to me, who were super smart and did what I recommend to everyone, which is double dinner on test kitchen night. In other words, if you're dining at test kitchen, always have a second backup dinner just in case, keeping it real. And they were able to slide right in and dine as a second dinner at the Wake. So the good news is that it will allow you to dine at the Wake if you don't have reservations, they turn over these seats pretty quickly, and it allows them to serve more sailors in a night than they otherwise would have to be turning away. Good news. The bad news is that I asked to sit specifically at the wine bar, and they were not able to seat me until 9:45 p.m., the last seating of the night. And I wanted to do a light dinner, and I was really excited to chat with the sommelier. And one thing I wanted to do was a side-by-side bubbles tasting, except they don't even pour in front of you. They pour back of house, and then they bring it to the front. Some items are poured in the front, but the majority is not, it's not functioning like a wine bar at all. So I guess we'll make a sandwich with good news, bad news, good news. I went ahead and took care of that desire elsewhere on the ship, my favorite bar. I see hopes for it becoming this wine bar in the future, but just know it's advertised that way now, and it is not. That's not what it is. Still love the wake. These are the Scarlet Lady changes in 2025 post dry dock. Tell me what you think. My light just turned off. I'm making too many videos. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Join us in the Facebook group and make sure you're a smart traveler. Price compare, you're sailing with us. We got you. And I want to know when you're on board. I'll be on Scarlet Lady again next month and the month after. And the month after. I'm around. I'm Christine Lozada. See you in the next one. Ciao. Wait, here's a fun fact in case you're wondering why did they change Razzle Dazzle? This is a restaurant that we have seen the menu change the most. Out of any of the restaurants on Virgin Voyages, they have switched over this menu the most. I miss the OG days of the butter chicken, which is now available in the galley as one of the rotating dinner items. I miss the tots. There's so many things I miss. And if you didn't know why they switched it over to Lucky Lotus, it's because of the Asian night market at sea. And what happened during the Eat and Drink Festival this past year is they transformed the galley into all different food stalls of different kinds of Asian cuisine. It was super awesome to experience and wildly successful, which is why they're trying this new concept. Razzle Dazzle is now Lucky Lotus on Scarlet Lady. And if you're curious to learn more about my first impressions on this restaurant, I actually did a full podcast episode, so you can check that out, linked in the description below. And if you've had the opportunity to dine here, or if you're looking forward to it, I'd love to hear it in the comments below.